talk about money without it being angry or resentful or finger pointing and blaming is so cool. So the fact that we're planning and building wealth together is just amazing, truthfully. Hi, my name is Kirsten or Kit, and this is my personal finance YouTube channel where I talk about going from $50,000 in debt as of 2022, combining my income with my partner as of 2023, and then working towards financial independence in the future. And this video is about our goals for 2024 and what we were able to accomplish in 2023. So I will jump right into it. Our wins for 2023. A big one was in April, we combined our finances together. Before that, we were separately working on baby step number 2. And in April, we opened up a joint bank account and then a savings and money market account, as well as a high yield savings account with Marcus by Goldman Sachs. And if you asked me in 2022 if we would combine our income in 2023 successfully and in a totally stress-free way, I would say probably not. But I'm really, really happy that we did. And I guess it started with a conversation that I had with a mutual friend who is also married and has been married for a long time, like 3 years more than we have. And they are, seem financially stable, have bought a house together, have sold the house together. I wouldn't be taking lax financial advice or wisdom or pieces of wisdom from other people unless they were clearly doing better than we were. But anyways, this couple said that they shared their finances, had their joint bank account where all of their income went, and then $100 a month would go into her bank account, $100 a month would go into his bank account, and that was their own separate money to do with whatever they liked, to buy a gift for each other or gamble with it, literally whatever they wanted. And I really liked that model. I don't know why. I haven't looked into options on how to do it. I just kind of thought it all goes into the pot and that's how you always split finances. I don't know. I really liked this model though. And I thought for the first time, oh, we could do that. And so we got our joint bank account. And then after a few months of having our bank account, and we would call it Money Sundays. And so it would be like our money meeting. We would talk about how much is in the account, how much needs to be in the account to cover bills for the next week and things like that. But after a few months of these Money Sundays, it just kind of became monotonous. We knew what to expect. There was nothing crazy going on. And Bradley did have his separate business account that he paid for some personal things with. So he did have sort of his own autonomy with a section of his money. And I did have cash tips at that point that I could, spend if I needed to, but really we didn't end up keeping that $100 separate. It just seemed like extra work when we trusted each other. If there was something one of us wanted or needed that was more than $50 or $100, we would just mention it, talk about it, and get it. There was really nothing that we really had to talk about. I'd say in July, I bought a really nice computer and spent, I say really nice, it was really nice to me. I spent $2,000 on it, and that was a really big deal. And so we talked about that one, shopped around for it. It felt like it was a necessity, and so it really wasn't an issue. It was a conversation, but we didn't keep on doing the separate $100 a month. And that could be any amount of money for anybody else. It could be $50 or $200, just kind of depending on what your budget looks like. But this has just worked out for us where we didn't continue to do that and we just pay for everything out of our joint account. I think this works for us best because we are just on the same page about our finances. We prioritize paying off debt, like baby step number 2, and then we prioritize investing. And then thirdly, we spend our money just where our values are, on things like health and fitness, good food, quality time with people, and things like that. Number 2, a big financial win for 2023 was no more credit card debt. This one happened kind of recently, actually. I think September. We realized last year in 2022, we probably spent a total of $10,000 in interest, just thinking about the balances that we kept on our credit cards every month. So that would be a few $100s right then and there. And then both of us had car payments that we were paying, and mine was a 16% interest rate. That was easily $100 a month that I was paying towards that. It all adds up. So throughout the year, we think we probably paid $10,000 of interest. So having no more credit card debt this year is massive, especially when you realize you're paying interest on things that you really don't even remember that you bought. Like, there is a vacation and I think an engagement ring on one of those cards. And so besides that, I really can't remember anything else that we were paying every month to have bought that in advance instead of saving and just buying it at a later date. It's a big one though. Having no credit card debt, having just one less bill to pay every single month, knowing that there is nothing due on the 17th when, you know, your Alaska or your Chase Sapphire card is due, is absolutely huge. Just really simplifying the budget, less itemized notes on the budget going out every single month is awesome. Like, we have rent due, sort of, or utilities. We have a car payment, groceries when we need them, gas when we need them, and that's really it, which is awesome. Number 3 for big wins for 2023 that we did is reduced our housing expense by 70%. And then we also reduced our transportation expense by 53%. We moved from a high cost of living area in Montana, where we rented an apartment, to a lower cost of living area where we live in a home that Bradley's family owns and has so kindly let us live here for just utilities and some renovation upgrades. So that's what we're doing right now. And then soon enough, we really will be spending very low amounts month to month for just upkeep on the home. As far as transportation, Bradley sold his Chevy Silverado that he was paying almost $900 a month for at the beginning of 2023 and switched it to a car where his monthly payments are now only $500. And then I paid off my car as well and then sold it. So we now just share that one awesome little car for a fraction of what we used to pay in total, which was over $1,500 for transportation for our car loans, car insurance, and gas. Now we just split the one car, have the car insurance that covers us both, and then we drive pretty minimally right now just because we are both at home, which I'll cover later. So in the 3 major areas of life expenses for people, which are food and transportation and home, rent, having a roof over your head, whatever you want to call it, mortgage, we've drastically reduced 2 of them, which is enormous. I'm really, really proud of us, and it just kind of sets us up for 2024 in an awesome way. And then number 4, a big win for 2023 is one that I really love because I'm a spreadsheet junkie. I feel like if you're into finances, either you are or you're not a spreadsheet junkie, and it's definitely me. I love doing hypotheticals, punching in the numbers, and just kind of seeing where it takes us. And in 2023, we began tracking our net worth as a single partnership unit, and I'll review that here. This is the chart that comes from the table of our assets minus our liabilities, and then it comes up with this net worth, which you can see is linearly, it's increasing towards 0 because it was so low before. So you can see starting in January, we were in about $60,000 of debt together. Brad did bring more assets to the table than me, so while combined we were in about $90,000 of debt, we did have some assets to bring to the table before building that together. But before this past year, like 2022, there was really no effort made to meticulously track my net worth. And while, yeah, I loved school, loved studying, stuff like that, it was just, I really was never this nitty gritty every month on the 31st or 30th or 1st going in, checking all of our accounts and adding up to see exactly where we stand. And now it's something that I really, really look forward to. I definitely didn't do it before. I would have probably noticed that my finances were actually steadily decreasing year after year. And I was just not assessing my finances on a grand picture of how much I was worth financially. I basically just looked at how much I had week to week, or for next week, or for this month, but honestly not even that. So now going into December, as you can see, we are looking at ending our year with a net worth of about negative $25,000. And I can't believe I'm saying actually how good that feels, because I know we're still in the red, still scratching and clawing out of the hole, but it does feel really good. Like even $25,000 in the hole is less than $60,000 in the hole. It just makes it feel like if something happened and we needed to come up with that amount of money, it's way different than needing to come up with $60,000. Like, I don't know, it just feels secure and warm and cozy, and I love it. Another big win for 2023 was really psychological. And I don't mean to get too woo-woo-y about money, because I feel like it's just nice to keep it real concrete and solid and just the numbers. But this was a big win for us since we automated our money systems last year, have kept track of our net worth, and really are on the same page about money, are not wasting money. We, aren't using excess subscriptions, anything like that. And since we were being responsible stewards of our money, it just seems like that money manifestation piece really started happening for us. And we felt positively about our finances. And then suddenly random amounts of money started showing up in our lives, like in the mail, where you would usually get bills, or your taxes are due that you didn't know about. Like when we moved to Montana and we realized that there were federal and state taxes. Like, I don't know why that was shocking to me. Was that always a thing? I don't know. But this is the crazy thing that shows up. I feel like it's Napoleon Hill or something like that. They're like, checks just start showing up in your life whenever you fix your money mindset. And that just seems like such bullshit until you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, really tracking your money, really being responsible about every single dollar, treating it with respect. It was awesome though. So just a few examples. We had a check from Montana Fish and Wildlife show up for $25. I'm not even sure why. I got money back from an overpayment on my car loan when I paid it off, from my insurance as well for like $14 when I canceled that. And Brad also got money back when he sold his truck. I got a $100 kickback from health insurance for a dental exam I did like 6 months prior. And it's also maybe that we're like looking for tiny ways to make money as well. So this money just starts showing up. And I get it. This isn't life-changing money. $10 here, $50 here, but it helps. It all adds up and we're super grateful for it. Like, we notice it and appreciate it, and all that hippy-dippy stuff seems woo-woo until you stop getting bad news bills constantly, and then you start getting random little checks that show up. And I love that for us. Okay, I usually, just knowing myself, like to stay quiet about my goals. Like this YouTube channel, for instance, I didn't tell anybody about it until just a few weeks ago, because for some reason, like, some people need to tell everybody about their goals because it holds them accountable and people ask them about their goals, so they feel like they have to keep up with it. That's not me. I'm in the other camp where I guess telling people about my goals makes, like, it sends off the little dopamine signals that people get when they actually accomplish their goals, so it makes me less likely to follow through on them. But since at this point my channel is so small that I really just feel like I'm talking to a camera and not actual people, like, it still feels like I'm in my little bubble. And I do like writing down goals. I do like talking about them privately with Bradley. We don't do it that often, honestly, but I do bring it up every few months just to kind of track and see where we are. And typically it's like, hey, remember when we set that goal when we were sitting on Stephen Casey's couch in July and we said we wanted to do this? Well, we've already done it, and we set that goal for next year in July, and it's already accomplished. So we literally just did that last night. Let's come back to what I was talking about. Needless to say, I don't really like to talk about my goals. And underneath that, I also don't like to create reach or stretch goals either. And that's just personal. That's something that I know about myself. They stress me out and they make me nervous and they just make me feel like I'm faking it. And I feel like the best example to give for this is in the gym. If I'm going for a heavy set or something that I want to accomplish, I will always tone down my goal. I'll just say I want to get 4 reps, clean, really good form, and not compromise my safety or my body or anything like that. I just want 4 really strong reps. And typically I will go into the set, and if the 4th one feels great, I will go for a 5th. I will go for a 6th, and with the same goals in mind of keeping strong form, feeling good in the movement, I will push out 10. You know, like I have made that goal so low and I will far exceed it. And that just feels better for me. So with that same mindset of I will reach for 1 or 4 more and feel like a freaking rock star afterwards, I've done the same thing with our financial goals in the same strategy. They aren't crazy, like I want to make $1 million. They're pretty calculated metrics that, based on past performance, I feel like if we continue to move in the same path, barring an absolute environmental disaster, which could happen, we'll let it go, we'll let COVID happen, I can take what we've learned and practice into consideration, make room for errors, and I feel like these goals are pretty smart for us. Okay, number 1, I want to have a positive net worth for us in 2024. I should say we, but like I'm making the video here. So I want to have a positive net worth for us in 2024, even if it's $1, 50 cents, 1 penny. It would be really, really huge. It's nice to talk about this goal because right now we're avalanching our debts. We have 3 left. We have my student loan, Bradley's student loan, which we've really just put on the back burner. We're making minimum payments on those, which is actually, mine is 0 right now because I'm not working. So we still are paying towards them because they're accruing interest, but not much. And then the 3rd one is our car. We have about an 8% interest rate, and the remaining balance is $25,800, give or take a few dollars. So if we pay this off and then just those minimum payments on our student loans, like I talked about, we're set up to do this goal of having a positive net worth anyways. This goal should really be a walk in the park, but I mentioned it to Bradley even just last night. I was asking him when I was throwing this together, like, what are some money goals? And just saying out loud, like, we won't be completely in the red as far as our net worth, he was like, wow, that would be crazy. And we're 30 years old, so I feel like it's not that crazy. Like, we should be getting it together, but in due time. So there are a few kickers for this one, and maybe that's why it feels so crazy for us. I am gonna have a baby any day now, apparently. And I heard they aren't the cheapest things to add to your bottom line. So there's that. And then Bradley and I, like I mentioned in I feel like a lot of my videos, both left our jobs that allowed us to make the dent in our debt like we did in 2023. Currently, I'm unemployed. I plan to take off work until at least March to breastfeed and do all of the mommy things, just basically have skin to skin and lay in the sun for like 2 months and just make a little nest and sit in it with our little baby. I do odd jobs to bring in a few $100s a month. And so that's really all that I'm contributing to our income. And shameless plug that yesterday me thought would be a good idea is any at-home part-time jobs that aren't scummy, throw my way. That would be really, really cool. And then Bradley, on the other hand, has residual income from the sale of his business in Montana. That brings about $500 in a month. And he also works day jobs in construction with his father or with his friends or doing landscaping for his grandmas. Super sweet stuff. But he brings in another $1,500 a month at a minimum, just kind of depending on how many hours he wants to pick up. So in 2024, the big takeaway is that we'll be prioritizing new baby, figuring that out in the beginning of the year, and we won't be taking on that many billable hours. So at least until March 2024, I suspect there will be really no extra payments made towards the principal on that car loan that will allow us to get to that positive net worth. And so this means to succeed in that positive net worth goal, we've calculated that we have to put about $2,700 a month towards that loan every month after March to December to reach that goal in December. Because of the work we did in 2023 to reduce our monthly expenses, I still think that this is possible. And to do it, we'd have to bring in about $5,500 a month to live comfortably and then also pay off this debt. In 2023, we started listening to the Real Estate Rookie podcast, and I highly, highly recommend it for anybody who is looking for extra ways to make money. I feel like it has really good stories of real people who are just getting started. They aren't real estate tycoons. And brings us to my second goal for 2022 is we want to begin investing in real estate. And even if that's really just to create a high yield savings account and start allocating funds towards a house fund, it could honestly be $1 and we would feel really good about that, because we've come a really long way. Like in 2022, we were just spending willy-nilly. So like, give us a few years to get out of debt and get this together. I feel like it's not odd for 30-year-olds to like live in their mom's houses, or 40 or 50-year-olds to be needing help nowadays. I feel like I get mixed signals about the economy, but it's fine at any age if you're just not doing as well as you thought, I guess is what I'm trying to say. For this goal though, we have talks in the works about how we want to invest in real estate with little money down, or doing a house hack, or working with a partner. What I love about this goal is that it's really personalized to us, because we are both really handy. If you hear the saw in the background, Bradley is building us a freaking kitchen as we speak. Actually, he's not working on the kitchen. He's building a bed frame for the guest room, maybe baby's room when she's older. I don't know how long we'll be here, but very handy. Maybe I'll drop some pictures of the renovation. This room that we're in, if you watch the video about having a baby, I think it was having a baby and paying off debt, I was sitting in this corner and there was like tape on the walls where geckos would climb out of, and holes in the drywall, and it was gross. But anyways, we're handy, we have a great eye for detail, and we both have experience in property management. That was the business that Bradley just sold, and I also worked for that company when we were in Montana. So I feel like real estate is a major area of opportunity for us. We're both interested in it. As we've been staying home, we work 10, 12-hour days, and I've been calling him Squirrel Boy, because he's like on to one project and then the next, and then we have ideas and we go to Home Depot, and like, we just really, really like it. And so I suspect that there's many more details to come on this front, but for now I'll leave it kind of vague and just say we're gonna invest in real estate. We're gonna be real estate investors. This is my third goal. I want to create $1,000 a month of steady income. Ideally, this would be passive income, but I'll just say kind of an alternative income source for now, and I'll explain why. We're making $500 a month from the sale of the business in Montana until about September, and I'd like us to take this to the next level and have another source of income that's set up to just be received every month. And it's one main motivation that I had for creating a YouTube channel, to just put out content. Of course, it keeps me accountable. I wanted to do it to create content for other people that were young like me, still in debt like me, but working towards financial independence, that weren't really educated on finance or weren't natural savers and super frugal to begin with. Like, I just wanted more voices that were figuring it out, really enjoying it, but figuring it out and working through the hurdles, especially a female voice too. Like, there's not that many of those. When I'm kicking ass later, there will be this documented series of us, again, just like clawing out of debt in the beginning. But I can't lie that it would be really cool to get monetized on YouTube. And so that would be a great source of passive income for us, again, to be parents and prioritize staying healthy. And I love to teach and I love to share information and learn, and so this is a cool resource for that. But another reason why we want to do real estate investing is being landlords would be ideal. I get that people say real estate or being a landlord isn't passive income. That's totally fine. But if you've ever clocked in as a CNA on a med floor and wiped people's heinies for 12 hours, I think being a landlord's a little bit more passive than that. So I'll take it. Anyways, $1,000 a month of passive or just reoccurring income from alternative income sources that aren't just clocking in as a job would be kick ass. Like, that would be dope. Number 4 for our financial goals for 2024 is to create an account for our baby where we put at least $1,000 towards it for her first year, knowing that it'll compound. So it's going to be an investment account, probably index funds with Vanguard, and then it'll compound till she's 18 with the goal of just being able to add to it every year and just having it grow for her. There's many years to figure out what we'll do with that, but it would feel really good to be able to do that for her. And then lastly, this isn't necessarily a financial goal, it's kind of like a lifestyle goal. One thing that we really loved in 2023 is in February we escaped Montana winter and we flew down to Costa Rica. We rented an FJ with a camper, a tent topper on top of it, and camped by the beach for 10 nights and drank pina coladas on the beach and went surfing and explored the jungle, swam in waterfalls and geckos in our tent and iguanas, and woke up with roosters and sweated our asses off and ate really good food and got really tan, and had so much sand everywhere. But it was the best time ever. Like, we are not the kind of people that go on vacation and we're like, nah, I really need to get back to work. Like, no. We could have stayed there for an extra week or 2 or 4 and been totally happy. On that tangent, our goal number 5, which is not necessarily a money but a lifestyle goal, is to use our saved up $100,000 of credit card points to take a long vacation to another country. We got these points because we have basically taken everything that we needed to pay for this year and just used our credit card for it. So it's basically free money. Like, we didn't spend anything extra to get these points. It's all of our renovations have gone on our cards besides our bills, because there's a percentage that's taken out, like for our rent there was a percentage for using a credit card, but literally everything else, groceries, gas, whatever we need, goes on the credit card. And so we get these points. So really getting reimbursed by taking a flight somewhere is like free money. So we'll get round trip tickets to, we're thinking Ecuador, but I won't say that. We still have some research to do. We want to make sure baby is healthy and safe first, and then we're getting the heck out of here. And the other holdup is big. We have to figure out, because we want to go on the longest vacation ever. When we went to Costa Rica, it was 10 days, and that was the longest vacation we've ever taken off of work, even if it's just a staycation, like nothing. So we want to do at least 3 weeks. I would go for longer. We need to make sure Big O Man, who's always in my videos, is happy and comfy where he's at. So that's just a kink to work out, but I'm really excited about that one, and it needs to happen. And I know I mentioned these goals being attainable, but they still feel really scary to mention out loud. Honestly, some of them feel insane, but I know that even scratching the surface on all of them would be great for us and keep us moving in the right direction. So I feel like, honestly, if I had to do a recap video, which I feel like that would be nice, maybe I'll make monthly videos on how these goals are coming along, I would still feel great if we made a dent in each one of these. It's seriously unbelievable how far we've come from talking about money. It was just stressful. Like, Bradley comes from a financially unstable background. Definitely so do I. And so just that we can talk about money without it being angry or resentful or finger pointing and blaming is so cool. So the fact that we're like planning and building wealth together is just is just amazing, truthfully. Oh my god. He has a cone. He has a 30-centimeter cone on, and he is a wrecking ball. Also, he's on steroids, so it's really scared for this whole setup to just come crashing down. Anyways, we're gonna make a big difference in 2024, and so it's really cool. For starters, we won't be financially in the red, and that's amazing. And I really just can't wait to see where our financial opportunities lead us for now. So I'm really thankful that we have our heads on straight. Thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, if you want to keep up with our journey, hear anything more, have any questions, please let me know. I would love to be as engaged as possible on YouTube, and I don't know, feel free to interact. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. I post every Saturday.